Hello and welcome to another installment of questions from viewers, and for those who are new to this series, maybe this is your first installment, basically you just jump over to speakpipe.com/HSG and you can record up to a minute-and-a-half question about pretty much any topic you'd like me to potentially address here on the channel, and of course I'll look through those questions and select a few which may be pertinent to the audience. So without any further ado, let's get to another question, this time from Jar Corrupted, who many of you will recognise, of course, from the Discord server for the channel.
Good morning, afternoon to Mike. What is the general direction of the channel? Is it going to be more of a real-life focus, like more videos of your car reviews, or when GT7 comes out, are you planning to just make Gran Turismo videos, or are you going to make a hybrid version, like you still make reviews and you make Gran Turismo videos?
And that's a very valid question to have. It's a question which a number of people have asked me, especially in recent months, because I've been doing and focusing a lot more of my efforts and even money and time into doing real-world car stuff than I have necessarily with gaming. For instance, Gran Turismo and Forza. Now, to answer the question first, and then I'll get into some of the reasons why, the answer is hybrid. That was always my goal. Even from as far back as the potato cam days, it was always my dream to be one of the only, if not the only, channels who focuses and features automotive content in as wide a spectrum as I do. So we've got racing games, we've got product unboxings, model car collection, real-world car reviews, rivals matches. It's basically all things car-related, and that was always my goal. Now, monetarily and for a number of other reasons, I couldn't do all of those things back then, but over time we've gradually evolved into new phases, in effect, of the channel. Originally it was Gran Turismo 6, in the potato cam days, then Forza came along, then I started doing other games, Test Drive, Project Gotham, etc., and that expanded exponentially, and then back in 2019 I featured a couple of real cars on the channel. With, of course, my first ever real car review for the BMW i8, which was a hell of a start for a car review series, and then that expanded from there to what we currently have, the Beards and Cars series, now in its second season. That's the way I like to think of it, the 2021 season. And that is, I will not lie, of course, a hugely important thing to me. I always wanted to feature real cars on the channel, and I have no intention of stopping that in future. However, for those who may be concerned about the gaming side, especially with, TDU3, the next Forza game, GT7, maybe even the current games, because of course I haven't done much GT Sport content in quite some time, you don't need to be concerned from that point of view. Because the reason why I've actually been doing a lot less gaming content is nothing to do with the games themselves. It's not that I don't enjoy them anymore, or that there's no content to produce. It's actually all to do with YouTube. And if you look below this video at the views which it has, even 24 or 48 hours after its release, well, you'll pretty much see the reason why. Look at that number of views and now compare it to the number of subs which I have. Look on pretty much any Beards and Cars episode. If you're in a channel and it feels good to get 10 or 20,000 views from 70+ thousand subscribers, then something's wrong. And for me, my consistency is just super low on the channel, and that's nothing to do with the content, it's 100% because of YouTube. There are a number of channels, even massive ones, who are being simply throttled by them. And me even saying this in the video will probably cause this video to be affected even more, because of course they recognize the English language, as with any language here, and will probably affect the video because I'm talking about the subject. So that is the reason why I've been holding back on a lot of that. In future, I 100% will be featuring GT7. Of course, I'll be featuring TDU3. I'm going to hold back probably a little bit on the next Forza title to see more about it, because if it's essentially GT Sport but Forza, then I'm not going to have that much interest in it, to be honest, and buying an entire Xbox just for that is a bit overkill. I will be looking into other games as well, such as Rims, the forthcoming motorcycle game, and potentially one or two others as well. So no, gaming is not going away. The channel, as far as I'm concerned, will always be a hybrid, because I love doing that. I love being one of the very few, if not the only, channel who does that to the extent that I do. Most channels tend to specialise. The problem with that is it means that if that audience loses interest in you, you've got nothing else. So I've always tried to have my fingers in as many pies as possible. Gran Turismo, Forza Test Drive, not just gaming even, real cars, unboxings, car collections. Even things which are just completely random one-offs, like my Ode to Motorsport poem that I did a couple of months back. Just random stuff that's all within the overarching sphere of cars. So that will certainly never change. And no, I do plan to do gaming content. There will be a ton of it, especially for Gran Turismo 7, of course, whenever that finally drops. But the real-world car stuff is very important to me. And I must be honest, I do it more so at the moment because I enjoy it than because it's lucrative. Because generally speaking, I tend to lose money on every car review I do, because it costs me time and money to go and drive those cars, and then the views simply don't pay for them. Only a couple of the reviews that I've ever done have had enough views to pay for them. Most of them are not even close. So it's very much a passion project for me, which of course is why stuff like Patreon or being a channel member or whatever is so beneficial. And I really appreciate those who do choose to do that, such as the HSG team who, much like Ness and Maverick and Nathan, they have those feature episodes here on the channel where they actually make a video or craft one themselves. That's a highly beneficial thing for me at the moment, and it is one of the things that allows me to do this at all. So ultimately, that's it for the answer and some of the reasons why, for those who may have been wondering. And of course, stick around on the channel because doubtless there'll be some more random things and series that pop up here and there, much like this series itself did recently. But that's it overall for this question. Of course, submit yours on speakpipe.com/HSG for a chance to be featured and answered here on the channel. And until next time, I'll see you then. But for now, as always, thanks for watching.